हेलो स्टूडेंट्स वेरी गुड इवनिंग तर आज आम डिस्कसन करवा ओस्टेट चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट एंड पेडागोजी इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन ताले आज सबू चैप्टर इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन आज आम डिस्कसन करवा। फर्स्ट आम ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट रू स्टार्ट करके आम करवा। तार फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन कौन अच्छी ग्रोथ रेफर्स टू ग्रोथ हूँ कौन क्वांटिटेटिव चेंज इन ह्यूमन बॉडी ताले ऑप्शन बी। तापरे डेवलपमेंट रेफर्स टू क्वालिटेटिव चेंज इन ह्यूमन बॉडी। तापरे फ्रॉम द फॉलोइंग चेंज व्हिच इज नॉट कंसर्न्ड विथ ग्रोथ इंटेलिजेंस आम क्विकली कवर करवा से मु सब ऑप्शन पढ़ुना। ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट आर इंटर रिलेटेड एंड इंटरडिपेंडेंट टू ईच अदर ट्रू। The structural change of the body is known as growth. The functional change of the body is known as development. From the following which can be expressed in numerical measures? Growth. From the following which is more complex to express through numerical measures? Development. Growth continues only for a specific period of life. This statement is true. Development continues throughout the life. This statement is true. Growth stops when maturity has been attained. This statement is true. Growth reaches its maximum among girls at the age of 20. Growth reaches its maximum among boys at the age of 25. Growth is always additive in nature. This statement is true. Development is both additive and subtractive in nature. This statement is true. Development is more complex process in compared to the process of growth. This statement true. From the following which is not a principle of development? Development follows a pattern. True. Development proceed from general to specific. True. Development continuous process. True. Development stops at a specific period of life. ठीक है एटा भूल अच्छे। Growth proceed from head to toe. Development proceed from general to specific. एटा ठीक अच्छे। At birth, head is larger, about 1/4 of the body in length. This statement is true. Heredity is responsible for physical development, intellectual development, social, emotional, physical. Environment is responsible for intellectual development, social, temperamental. Then all of the above. Environment is not responsible for physical development, social, emotional, intellectual, physical. From the following which is not an external factor affecting development? External factor कोटा नुहे heredity होची गोटे internal factor. From the following which is not an internal factor that affects development? Heredity, biological factors, intelligence, environment. कोटा internal factor नुहे environment. From the following which is not decided by heredity? Height and weight ठीक अच्छी, color of the skin and eyes ठीक अच्छी, characteristic of flair, quality of adjustment to society. ताले option D. तापर क्वेश्चन द फिजिकल सोशल इमोशनल एंड लैंग्वेज डेवलपमेंट ऑफ ए चाइल्ड इज ग्रेटली इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय द लेवल ऑफ हिज इंटेलिजेंस. दिस स्टेटमेंट इज ताले इटा ट्रू ठीक अच्छे. Which of the following is not related to principle of development? Follows a pattern ठीक अच्छी, proceed from general to specific ठीक अच्छी, continuous process ठीक अच्छी, traits are not related एटा भूल अच्छी. Which of the following is the impact of growth and development? Change in weight, height, motor activities, all of the above. Option D. Which of the following develops throughout the life? Development. The structural change in the body is the result of rapid cell division. Which of the following carries a limited and narrower meaning? Growth. Which of the following related to growth? Continuous for a specific period of life, easy to observe and measure, always additive, all of the above. ताले ऑप्शन डी सब जाक ठीक अछि. Which of the following is not related to development? Always specific, continuous from birth to death, qualitative nature, progressive series of functional changes. ताले कोटा से कहला not related to development. ताले जो ऑप्शन ए देछि always specific एटा related नो विष्णु. Growth proceed from head to toe. Which part of human body grows earlier? Upper part. Which of the following responses the child show first? Specific, concrete, abstract, general. First child show करे कौन? General response. The brain reaches its maximum size about को एज रे हुए ना 6 वर्ष बेलको. हेरिडिटी इज रेस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर फिजिकल इंटेलेक्चुअल सोशल. ताले हेरिडिटी कहा पाई रेस्पॉन्सिबल? फिजिकल पाई एंड इंटेलेक्चुअल पाई. Which of the following influences the growth and development of the child? Constitutional makeup, stomatic structure, physics and body chemistry, all of the above. ताले कहला कि कोटा ग्रोथ और डेवलपमेंट रो इन्फ्लुएंस, ताले all of the above. तापर आमे पहुँचले सेकेंड चैप्टर. ताले सेकेंड चैप्टर रे हमर एठी सब थ्योरी उडा अछि. कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट थ्योरी, सोशल डेवलपमेंट थ्योरी, लैंग्वेज डेवलपमेंट, मोरल डेवलपमेंट सब ता ऊपर बढ़िया. Systematic change in the mental process that underline on learning and performance is referred as. ताले एटा कोन हबो? सब मेंटल प्रोसेस कोठी आसीबो? कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट रे. कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट. According to Piagetian theory, cognitive development is influenced by all of the following except कहा द्वारा कोई ने language. Which of the following advancements would be new to a child reaching the pre-operational stage? The ability to consider multiple aspects of a problem, the ability to consider past and present activities. जेते बेले देखो गोटे चाइल्ड प्री ऑपरेशनल स्टेज रे पहुँचे ताले प्री ऑपरेशनल स्टेज कोटा फर्स्ट आसला सेंसरी मोटर स्टेज, तापर प्री ऑपरेशनल माने 2 to 7 years. सेते बेले गोटे चाइल्ड पई कोटा नुआ थाए ना पास्ट और प्रेजेंट को कंसीडर करिबा. According to Piaget, the middle childhood years bring a new set of skills, concrete operations that कौन करे देखो ताले कौन हम देखो ना प्रोवाइड जनरल एब्स्ट्रैक्ट रूल्स एंड स्ट्रैटेजीज फॉर एग्जामिनिंग एंड इंटरैक्टिंग विथ द वर्ल्ड. ताले जेतेबेले गोटे मिडिल चाइल्डहुड ईयर रे गोटे चाइल्ड थाए से गोटे कौन डेवलप करे ना जनरल एब्स्ट्रैक्ट रूल्स स्ट्रैटेजीज फॉर एग्जामिनिंग एंड इंटरैक्टिंग विथ द वर्ल्ड. In contrast to the elementary school child, an adolescent who has developed formal operational thought can ताले कौन करि पारे ना think about possible outcome ठीक अछि, think systematically about the future ठीक अछि, imagine future consequences of for action ठीक अछि, do all the above. ताले ऑप्शन डी होची राइट आंसर. तापरे कौन अच्छी अकॉर्डिंग टू एरिक्सन सक्सेसफुल रिजोल्यूशन ऑफ द आइडेंटिटी वर्सेस रोल कन्फ्यूजन कन्फ्लिक्ट्स फेस्ड इन एडोलसेंस लीड टू व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग वर्च्यूज. ताले जेतेबेले आइडेंटिटी वर्सेस रोल कन्फ्यूजन आसे सेतेबेले कौन डेवलप करे ता भितरे कोना द एबिलिटी of commit oneself. According to Erickson, dash is the ability to fuse one's identity with someone else without fear you are going to lose yourself. एटा को कहा जाए intimacy है ना. Intimacy होची गोटे ability to fuse one's identity with someone others or someone else without without any fear you are going to lose yourself. A child who says it is wrong to steal because she might get caught would be in Kohlberg's dash stage. Kohlberg देतले कौन different stages of moral development. एटा तले को stage तले जदि से माने चोरी करिवो तले से धरा पड़ी जाई पारे. तले एटा को stage रे आसीबो punishment and obedience orientation. तापरे a teenager who begins using alcohol because all his friends are doing it probably in the Kohlberg stage. तले जेतेबेले से करूछि एटा को स्टेज रे आसीबो good boy or good girl orientation. At what level of moral development are the rules and standards of society internalized and held as one's own? तले एटा post conventional stage रे. Critics of Kohlberg claim that his theory reflects all the following except माने थ्योरीटा सबू करूला रिफ्लेक्ट करूला ताले को बायसटा केवल देखुनुला एज बायस. According to Piaget, children in the concrete operational stage have difficulty with deductive logic. Jean Piaget was a genetic epistemologist. मन रखिथिबो एटा ଗୋଟେ important question. Jean Piaget कोन होचंदी ना genetic epistemologist. Children begin to develop symbols to represent events or objects in the world during the soft stage of the sensory motor stage. एटा को कोन कहै जे एटा को कहै जे माने जो टाइम रे चिल्ड्रन माने सिंबल सब रिप्रेजेंट करंती एटा को कोन कहै गला अर्ली रिप्रेजेंटेशनल थॉट. मन रखि देबो. The ability to systematically solve problems emerges during formal operational stage. Piaget believed that children in the pre-operational stage have difficulty taking the perspective of another person. This is known as egocentrism. Piaget assumed that children are tasked in constructing understanding of the world. Passive, active. Active हबो एटा जानिछंती. According to Piaget, adaptation is the process of adjusting schemas by means of assimilation and accommodation. According to Piaget, planned problem solving moves from trial and error to a planned approach in their stage of development. Formal operation. तापरे Piaget found that children did not consciously use and follow rules until age of 10 to 12. 10 ରୁ 12 ବର୍ଷ ଥିଲା ଭିତରେ ପିଲାମାନେ ରୁଲ୍ ଗୁଡ଼ାକୁ କନସିୟସଲି ୟୁଜ୍ କିମ୍ବା ଫଲୋ କରନ୍ତି ନାହିଁ. The zone of proximal development is the level of development just below where student presently functioning, just above where student is presently functioning, just exactly the student is presently functioning, out of the zone of where the student is presently functioning. ताले zone of proximal development कौन ना just above the age or the stage where a student is presently functioning. In Erickson's stage 3, the behavior typical of children would be exploring physical and social behavior. Which of the following is a defining characteristic of formal operational thinking? Abstract thinking, object performance, intuitive thought, conservation. তাহলে abstract thinking. At what time of life does Erikson stage industry versus inferiority occur? Industry versus inferiority. कोठी आसे industry versus inferiority school age रे. Which of these are associated with insecurely attached infants in later life? Less competent, has less mature friends, has less socially skilled. All of the above. ताले option D. ताले माने कोटा कहला कि associated with insecurely attached infant in later life. ताले एटा सबू. According to Erikson, the psychological stage of trust versus mistrust occurs in dash stage. Trust versus mistrust से केबे ना infancy रे. तापरे which of the following is a way to measure activity level in an infant? ताले गोटे इनफेंट केते एक्टिव बा से कौन ताको आमे किपरि स्टडी करबा हाउ मच दे स्लीप द स्लीपिंग हैबिट रू. At which point does hearing develop? 6 months after conception. ताले कंसीव करिवार 6 मास परे गोटे माने हमर पिलार हियरिंग कैपेसिटी डेवलप करे. At which age does cooing begin? ताले को एज रे स्टार्ट 1 to 2 month रे हला. What do infants start to use between 8 to 12 months after birth? ताले 8 to 12 months after birth रे पिला माने कोन कोन गेस्चर यूज करंती. At which age do children begin detect changes in the sound in their own language? 6 to 12 months. When does language production begin to develop? Language production केते develop करे ना after comprehension परे. What do children begin to use around their second year of life? Second year of life रे कोटे माने second year रे माने 2 वर्ष बेलकू कौन यूज करे? 2 word phase जेतले से 2 वर्ष रही जे 2 word phase सबू यूज करे. Piaget described the stage of thinking that emerges during adolescence as the adolescence time रे सेटा को कौन कहतले formal operational stage. Which type of attention involves the ability to pay attention to 2 sets of stimuli at the same time? 2 type of stimuli ताले एटा को आजिबो divided attention. The only gender difference in the cognitive abilities that is currently believed to exist in the area of ताले कोठी ना spatial reasoning. Emotional development is the foundation for the study of individual adaptation and psychopathology. What is the relationship between infant reactivity and later shyness? ताले higher reactivity leads to higher shyness. Around what age do most infants begin to show separation anxiety accompanied by wariness of stranger? ताले को टाइम रे से माने separation anxiety देखांती and wariness of strangers ताले अलग माने हमर अचिना लोकन को देखिले रिएक्ट करंती. ताले एटा कहला को स्टेज रे 8 month टाइम रे. Which of these are associated with insecurely attached infants in later life? Less competent, has less mature friends, less socially skilled. ताले सब जगह If a young adult sees stealing is wrong because harm it begins to someone, because of the harm it brings to someone, which of the Colbert stays are they displaying? ताले जेतेबेले जने गोटे यंग एडल्ट देखे जे चोरी करिया भल न कहीं ना एटा अन्य मानक हार्म पहुँचाऊँगी, ताले से कोलबर्ग रो को मोरल डेवलपमेंट स्टेज रे थाए? ताले देखो एटा कोलबर्ग रो लीगलिस्टिक ओरिएंटेशन, कहीं आम जानते यहाँ पनिशमेंट ओबिडेंस ओरिएंटेशन नुह, गुड बॉय गुड गर्ल ओरिएंटेशन नुह, यहाँ हूँ लीगलिस्टिक ओरिएंटेशन. Which of these is misconception about heredity? Heredity means that a person will not change. ठीक अच्छे एटा. It is waste of effort to try to influence a trait that has a strong heredity component. एटा भी ठीक अच्छे. ताले option D, both A and B are correct. A relationship based on previous friendship and develop into lovers is characteristic of what love style? एटा को कह जिवो storage form of love. Recognizing another's emotional condition and experiencing what they are assumed to be feeling is a description of एम्पाथी. ताले एम्पाथी कौन? आम निजक अन्यर सिचुएशन ने अन्यर परिस्थिति रखी भाविया को कहुचे एम्पाथी. The three major aspects of moral development include, तीनटा moral development रो aspect कौन? Individual, family and society. Moral development रो तीनटा aspect रही individual, family, society. 6 stages of moral development were proposed by Clarence Kohlberg. Human personality is the result of interaction between heredity and environment. According to Kohlberg, a teacher can instill moral values in children by involving them in discussion on moral values. What is the final level of Kohlberg model of moral development? Kohlberg को जो moral development रो कोटा final level थिला कन्वेंशनल रिजनिंग. एबे आमे जिबा थर्ड यूनिट को. एबे आमे पढ़िया इंटेलिजेंस चैप्टर. एटा गोटे इंपोर्टेंट चैप्टर. एटी बहुत गुडा इंपोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन अछि. ताले फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन कोन देछि? द लेजिस्लेटर मीनिंग ऑफ इंटेलिजेंस इज कोन? आमे जानचंती द कैपेसिटी टू एक्वायर नॉलेज एंड द कैपेसिटी टू अप्लाई नॉलेज. Intelligence is the aggregate or global capacity of an individual to act purposefully, to think nationally and to deal effectively is the definition given by. ले definition टा के देतले कि डेविड एकर. तापर देखो थर्स्टोन इज द साइकोलॉजिस्ट ऑफ कौथिर साइकोलॉजिस्ट ना अमेरिका. द मेंटल ऑपरेशन constitute a group factor. Two-factor theory is proposed by Thurston. Verbal factor related to comprehension, memorize quickly, numerical calculation, ability to draw conclusion. ताले verbal factor टा कोठी को relate करूची? comprehension को. तापर देखो perceptual speed means ability to perceive object accurately, ability to draw inference, ability to make use of generalized result, ability to solve problem. ताले कौन हम? ability to perceive object accurately. Word fluency factor involved where conclusion made on the basis of specific example. Which factor is responsible to make use of generalized fact? Which factor is responsible to make use of जनरलाइज फैक्ट ताले डिडक्टिव रिजनिंग टा यूज हुए जनरलाइज फैक्ट को यूज करिया पाई. Which ability is not required for learning mathematics? Perpetuate speed, numerical, inductive, deductive. ताले कोटा दरकार हुएनी परपेचुअल स्पीड दरकार हुएनी मैथमेटिक्स लर्न करिया पाई. द वीकेस्ट कनसेप्ट डिलीट है कनसेप्ट हम सी पड़े. कनसेप्ट ऑफ ग्रुप फैक्टर थ्योरी इज दैट इट डिस्क्राइबेड द कनसेप्ट ऑफ द ताले कौन हम कॉमन फैक्टर. Guilford and his associates were working in psychological laboratory in the University of California. A unique ability that is necessary to do well in definite tasks or test is defined is the definition given by a definition टा देथिले Guilford. Which is of the following is the three-way classification of intellectual abilities? Operation, content, product. ताले तीनटा ठीक अच्छे. Operation, content, product. The ability of operation can be detected by examination, assessment, factor analysis, evaluation. ताले से कहला द एबिलिटी ऑफ ऑपरेशंस कैन बी डिटेक्टेड बाय फैक्टर एनालिसिस. तापर क्वेश्चन व्हिच इज द मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट फंडामेंटल ऑपरेशन ऑफ लर्निंग प्रोसेस. लर्निंग प्रोसेस रो कोटा इंपोर्टेंट फंडामेंटल ऑपरेशन. लर्निंग प्रोसेस रो फंडामेंटल ऑपरेशन कॉग्निशन. ताले आंसर हम कॉग्निशन. तापर होची व्हिच इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू प्रोसेस ऑफ ऑपरेशन. सिस्टम्स मेमोरी कॉग्निशन इवैल्यूएशन. ताले सिस्टम्स टा रिलेटेड नुह मेथड ऑफ कॉग्निशन ऑपरेशन को. द मटेरियल परसीव्ड थ्रू द सेंसेस इज नोन एज सिंबॉलिक कंटेंट. जोटा आमको गोटे माने हमर परसीव थ्रू सेंस द्वारा जोटा आसे ताको हमें कहि दांती सिंबॉलिक कंटेंट. Which of the following is related to product? Unit, classes, relations, all of the above. ताले देखो कौन हबो all of the above. तापर क्वेश्चन द इंटेलेक्चुअल एबिलिटी यूनिट मीन comprehending visual, auditory and symbolic units. Whose view is the most comprehensive view of intellect? Guilford. Who advocated the theory of multiple intelligence? Multiple intelligence theory किए देथिले. ताले मन रखते मल्टीपल इंटेलिजेंस थ्योरी देथिले गार्डनर. Who challenged the idea of general intelligence? देखो जनरल इंटेलिजेंस रो आइडिया को किए चैलेंज करतिले. जेन पियाजेट.